Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm sitting on my big comfy cream couch, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how I lost over 9 pounds in the course of a week. So let's get started. Now, I hope you don't mind a couple of background noises, some stray Cocomelon songs, or my daughter or my son. Either one of them may have to stop, but the light is perfect right now, so I'm trying to go ahead and get this filmed. This is my third attempt, actually probably more than that if you include the couple of seconds where I started my intro and felt stupid and had to start over. So, ultimately, I think that's my son. All right, we're just gonna press forward. Now, as you may have guessed, I lost this weight on a diet, no exercise, and that diet was the keto diet. You've likely already heard of it. I certainly had, but I had never researched it personally until I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes a little later on in my pregnancy, and I discovered it. It's one of the ways to keep my blood sugar under control. Now, I wasn't quite keto, or I was definitely on the upper end of keto. I generally, I didn't know about net carbs. I was going by actual carbs, but generally I tried to keep my carbs under 100 grams a day. And that's not net carbs, that's just like generalized carbs. And that seemed to help me, and my blood sugar stayed absolutely perfect throughout the course of my pregnancy. And I was able to have the natural birth that I wanted, although of course it may not have mattered because I didn't give birth at the hospital, and I didn't give birth at home. And we have a video coming up about that, so definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell, or leave a comment down below if that's something you would be interested in hearing the story behind. But ultimately, that's when I first started doing basically low carb, not quite keto, and I then had to go on a low fat diet a couple of weeks ago because I was having gallbladder attacks, and I was not doing keto. Previously, I was just eating normal and just my regular diet, no low carb, no nothing. And I started having gallbladder attacks, really, really horrible ones. I had 5 in total before I was finally able to have my gallbladder removed. Stayed low diet per the doctor's recommendation for the first couple of days, but kept having pretty intense GI symptoms. So I watched a documentary about keto, and that reminded me, of course, how good I felt on a low carb diet, and I decided to dive back in because my weight loss from nursing had also plateaued, and I wanted to lose a whole lot more weight than I had gained during the pregnancy. I wanted to lose weight in general, and I had given myself a year to get to my goal weight, and I just wanted to make sure I was staying on track for that. So I decided to go ahead and give it a shot. My doctor made it clear that it wouldn't hurt me to, eat a high-fat diet. It just would make me uncomfortable with GI symptoms, and since I was already having them, I figured it can't get much worse from here. And the day that I started keto, I immediately noticed a difference. All of my GI symptoms totally went away. My BMs returned back to normal, and I instantly started feeling so much better. I haven't experienced quite the burst of energy that is associated with keto. I may not be in full ketosis yet, but although I think I am, I think it's more that I'm sleep deprived. I have a newborn, and so maybe I'm more energized than I would be with the lack of sleep that I'm getting. We can't know. I haven't noticed a difference in my supply as far as nursing. It seems to have been totally unaffected by the lack of carbs. So that was a relief because I was a little bit worried about that. So yeah, that's the majority of my symptoms. I basically have been feeling really good, very satiating, really enjoying my food. Occasionally I get cravings, or I feel a little sad, like, oh man, I wish I could have some Oreos or something like that. But ultimately, they're never like super duper strong. They're very easy to resist. My motivation is high right now, and of course it definitely helps that all gone. All gone. That the first week of keto, you lose a ton of water weight, and so you get to feel like, man, you're just all good. This is really working. And after this week, which I am going to do a week 2 touch-in after this week, the weight loss is supposed to significantly plateau. So anyway, I've been feeling really good. I've also enjoyed being able to try a bunch of recipes. For the first time in my life, I have understood the appeal of Pinterest. I have never really cared about Pinterest, or like I've had Pinterest boards, but they've never been able to hold my interest. But now I have my keto food Pinterest board with all the recipes that I want to try and that I have tried. And it's been definitely very fun getting to open a new door to like culinary cuisine and like trying new things. So, so far, as far as a typical breakfast, I thought I would go over what my like meals look like. Number one, I only have about 2 meals a day and no snacks because we have breakfast really, really late in the day, like generally never earlier than 10 o'clock. And then because I'm having so much fat in my diet, I'm genuinely just not hungry around lunchtime, around 2 p.m., 3 p.m. And by 4 p.m., I'm getting a little bit hungry and I decide, well, it's close enough to dinner. I might as well just start working on dinner. So then I generally have dinner anywhere from 5 to 7 p.m., just depending on when Matt gets home and how long it takes me to cook. So between the 2 meals of the day, there's that. Now, I have noticed that if I'm not at home, if I'm out and about, if I go over to my sister's house or we're going to church, I definitely do eat more. So I will have lunch on those days. So for breakfast, I will have keto pancakes and topped with strawberries that I've added some water and some sweetener to and heated up in the microwave to make basically a strawberry syrup, and of course butter on those pancakes because we love fat on the keto diet. And then a couple pieces of bacon or possibly sausage depending on the day, and then generally 2 eggs, either scrambled with cheese or just sunny side up. And I also generally have a diet or a Dr. Pepper Zero with my breakfast just for the caffeine. And then the rest of the day, I basically drink tons and tons and tons of water because you're extremely thirsty on the keto diet. And then if I do have lunch, it will generally be leftovers from dinner the night before, or I'll use like low-carb tortillas and make some like roll-ups with some deli meat and cheese, have a boiled egg, and then some form of sweet thing, whether it's a couple of strawberries, blueberries, or a keto brownie. And then for dinner, this is where I try the majority of my new recipes. I've made a zuppa toscana Olive Garden copycat soup. That's my husband's favorite soup at Olive Garden, and I made fathead dough breadsticks with that. I have used the fathead dough to make a pizza, which I actually really enjoyed, and has really come in handy when our friends have brought over pizza that I get to actually have pizza. And then I've made steak fajitas, which were a super win, and I just used low-carb tortillas to eat them. And I've also I tried making a like keto pasta, chicken Alfredo, and the chicken and Alfredo sauce were delicious, and the pasta was disastrous, like borderline inedible. I absolutely hated it, never making it again. So I'm hopeful to find a new replacement for noodles because I definitely do miss having like chicken Alfredo. And then I've tried like a pre-made keto brownie. Sometimes when I'm craving something sweet, it's nice to be able to have a little brownie. And yeah, that's just about it. And sometimes for dinner, I'll also have leftovers as well. So that's what my meals look like typically. And I'm actually in the middle of filming, like today I started it, what I eat in a day on keto. So essentially it's going to be just 2 meals. Maybe I'll do like 3 days because 2 meals is just gonna be like whap whap. But that's what I'm beginning to film now. So if you're interested in that, that should be coming up. Hopefully. My original subscribers know how I am, which at best is like inconsistent. So that's just the phase of life I'm in right now. Like, YouTube gets put on the back of my priorities. I'm so sorry. So yeah, I haven't done any exercise yet. I'm not even 2 weeks out from my gallbladder surgery. That could also explain the lack of energy that I'm feeling. Definitely, that's kind of the only lingering symptom. No pain, no GI symptoms, no problems. I don't even notice I don't have a gallbladder anymore. But I definitely am very tired, even doing regular activities like standing and walking, and from what I have talked to my doctor about, that is very normal and could last even up to 6 weeks out from the surgery, as your body is just recovering from like, what the heck, you stole an organ. Whoa. So, but yeah, I am hopeful to, on week 2, which today is the first day of week 2, try and incorporate some light exercise, walking on the treadmill, taking a walk around the house, maybe doing some stretches. And I also bought the ingredients to try and make a keto blueberry muffin recipe and keto cinnamon rolls, because I am getting more used to having savory breakfast, but I'm much more used to having sweet breakfast, cereal, donuts, muffins, stuff like that. So it's been some mornings I just really crave, and like the pancakes do okay, but now I've had pancakes so much that they're beginning to be sort of like status quo. So I'm hopeful to try a couple new recipes and kind of get those in the cycle of breakfast. I'm also hopeful to eventually get some shirataki noodles and try those in an Alfredo and see if those are okay in my search for keto noodles. And then I'm also gonna try keto cauliflower mac and cheese, which I think I may make tonight. I'm not sure yet. My husband loves mac and cheese. He could eat it like every night for dinner. The Kraft mac and cheese with hot dogs cut up into it. That is like chef's kiss to him, his favorite thing, with like a glass of Coke and a glass of chocolate milk. Yes, he does still eat like he's a college student, despite like my best efforts. Maybe not my best efforts, but some efforts have been made to like cook for him, and he loves that too. But some nights I'll ask him like, do you want me to make this or do you want me to make this? And he always picks mac and cheese. He loves it. So I am hopeful that if we can get a cauliflower mac and cheese with like bacon bits, maybe cut up some hot dogs into that might be sort of good enough to tease him away from it. I'm just interested to see what he thinks about it. He is not on keto, but he is eating a lot more keto foods just because that's what I'm cooking now. And I like to make sure that there's still something that he likes. I really hate having to make like 2 separate foods for us, though I do it fairly frequently. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it as far as the first week. You know, because it's mostly water weight, I haven't noticed too much of a difference in my actual body with the 9 pounds lost. But of course, I'm very excited about the weight loss to get to my goal. I've lost 32 pounds so far since giving birth, and I've lost over 50 pounds since January of this year. Some of that was during pregnancy. It was involuntary. We were still healthy. It was a little bit of it was during the gestational diabetes, but most of it was in the second trimester, sort of for no reason. And the same thing happened with Esther. When I was pregnant with her, I randomly lost 10 pounds in the 3rd trimester for absolutely no reason, and I didn't have gestational diabetes then. So it seems to be just something that my body does. I'm sure it probably has something to do with my hypothyroidism. I will gain weight really rapidly, and occasionally I can like drop weight really rapidly. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns. I am not an expert on keto. I just know that from the research that I've read, it seems like it's certainly not dangerous to do it, especially if you're doing it temporarily to lose weight. And, you know, once I get to my goal weight, I am not sure if I will continue doing keto. I think I will likely adapt to more of a low-carb lifestyle rather than strictly keto, although if the weight starts coming back on, I may stay keto. I don't know. So yeah, that is most of my experience on my, yeah, that's a dog. Yeah, it's a dog. Yeah, it's a dog. Yeah, that's so cool. Anyway, that is my experience on my first week of the keto diet. Love the weight loss, love being able to eat tons of fat and feel full. I've lost 60 pounds previously before I went to college, and I did that using calorie counting, and you know, it worked, but yeah, I felt restricted all the time, hungry all the time. I didn't really have very many alternatives to eat the same foods that I wanted, whereas with keto, there's generally a keto recipe out there somewhere for something that you want to replace. And Also, I wasn't as an experienced of a cook. I was, just out of high school, so I may not have, those may have existed, but I just may not have known about them or been able to accomplish them. But, I felt hungry all the time and weak sometimes. I had to combine it with at least an hour's worth of exercise a day to see any results. And that was all, good, and I loved losing that weight. But the experience of calorie counting versus keto is like so much better. Calorie counting, you can get kind of obsessive. You don't even see food anymore. You just see calories. It's like a running calculator in the back of your head all the time. Whereas with keto, you kind of know generally which foods are going to be high carb and which ones aren't. And you can eat as much as you want of the, low carb until you're full, and you stay full for a really long time. Like I said, I don't need to snack. I don't need that third meal. I do when I'm out and about because I notice I just get hungrier. I think that maybe it's being more active, actually, like not being at home, just sitting on the couch. I'm not sure. Anyway, the video is getting a little bit long. I don't want to keep you here forever. If you are new here, feel free to subscribe if you want to see the week 2 check-in. I also have some tutorials coming up for felt Christmas ornaments, and of course that what I eat in a day on the keto diet that I'm going to be doing. It's nothing fancy, just it's what I eat in a day, or in this maybe a couple of days since I only eat 2 meals a day. And thank you for watching. Thank you for spending some time chatting with me on the couch. I hope that you have a great day and do all the things that YouTubers tell you to do. Like, subscribe, share, comment. I'd love to hear your input if you've ever been on the keto diet, recipes that you like. And yeah. Thanks for watching again. And as my daughter Esther would say, bye. Wow.